What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Logical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed on everything that the government does. And I wanted to bring to you a story right quick that I saw, and I just couldn't pass it up. I know I've already put out a couple of videos today. I'm not used to making 3 videos a day, but, you know, that's what I've done for the past 2 days, if you will. So let's get into it right quick. So this might be a little bit shorter than most of my normal videos. Let's check it out. House GOP files suit to force Garland to turn over Biden-her interview audio. Yeah, they've been trying to do that for a while. We just heard from Anna Paulina Luna the other day. We heard this.
Good morning, everyone. We are here today because of the double standard that exists within the justice system. As you know, on February 27th, the Oversight Committee, as well as House Judiciary, had sent a subpoena to Attorney General Garland, of which we received no response, and after referring him for criminal contempt within 48 hours or less, the Department of Justice refused to prosecute. Inherent contempt is clearly within our Article 1 authorities, and Congress does have the power to investigate all legislative powers. Investigations are part of our legislative process, and people that interfere with these processes should be held accountable. Inherent contempt was first used in 1795, and this was further upheld in a Supreme Court decision in 1927 in McGrain versus Doherty that stated that Congress does indeed have this authority. It's important to note that when an individual is called before courts across the country, they appear. Why should the Attorney General, who is supposed to be head of all law enforcement authorities, any different? Garland still has time to comply with this request. We are asking that he bring the tapes to the House and let us listen to them. But in the event that he does not, we will press forward with calling the privilege motion on inherent contempt to the floor on Friday morning. It is also important to note that if we as a Congress do not have the ability to enforce our investigative ability, that we are essentially going to be ignored and undercut and essentially handicapped by all other branches, which would make us not a co-equal branch of government. After me, I have Dan Crenshaw speaking that would like to address this issue, but I would appreciate that the press report on this accurately and that Congress, again, does have the authority to do this, that the Attorney General is not above the law, and ultimately we will be pressing forward with this. This is something that, again, would enable the Speaker of the House to order the Sergeant at Arms to take into custody the Attorney General if he fails to comply with our request.
Inherent contempt. Yeah, that would allow the damn Sergeant at Arms to go and arrest Merrick Garland and hold him in custody until they get that audio tape. I don't think that's going to pass on the House floor, though. But check this out. The House Judiciary Committee filed a lawsuit Monday to force Attorney General Merrick Garland to turn over audio tapes from President Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur regarding his handling of classified documents. It is the latest move from top Republicans in the House in their push to gain access to the tapes following a vote to hold Garland in contempt of Congress earlier this month over not complying with their subpoena in the matter. The Justice Department subsequently declined to charge Garland with contempt. Speaker Mike Johnson, though, suggested Biden's memory issues are not the core reason for seeking the tapes, but rather that Republicans want to ensure the transcript of the interview, which they already have, is accurate, because the White House is known for altering transcripts. The Biden administration, I should say, is known for altering transcripts. Plus, it's a redacted transcript at that. We're not trying to embarrass the president. We're trying to get down to the facts, Johnson said in a Friday press conference. So that being said, we're going to be as aggressive as we can, use every tool in our arsenal to make sure that the evidence that the House is entitled to is turned over. Biden has claimed executive privilege over the tapes, which the Justice Department determined shields Garland from any consequences for failing to turn them over. Republicans argue that Biden's assertion of executive privilege over the tapes isn't valid because he already turned over the transcript of the conversation. That's right. You can't assert executive privilege. The information is already out there. So why do they not want congressional Republicans to have that audio tape? I've postulated this before. I just wonder. I wonder why. Because they don't want to hear a repeat of Thursday night's debate. Joe Biden going, look, Anyway, any privilege that could conceivably apply to the President Biden's interview with special counsel was waived when the executive branch released a transcript of that interview to the press and produced that transcript to the committee, the suit states. A Justice Department spokesperson said they are reviewing the lawsuit and will respond in court at the appropriate time. The suit also brings to court the GOP's arguments that they need the tape to further their impeachment investigation, likely igniting further scrutiny of claims they've struggled to back. Yeah, this goes to that impeachment, definitely. Joe Biden's mishandling of classified documents, all of the bribery schemes, all of the checks for loan repayments, quote unquote loan repayments, like that's something that's not talked about nearly enough. You've got loan repayments with no outgoing payment. So how the hell can you repay a loan that was never paid out in the first place, right? There's no check written to Hunter Biden or to James Biden for $250,000 or $174,000 or $47,000, whatever it was. There's no outgoing payments for those loan repayments. That's where the fishiness comes in. I know you might be thinking, what the hell does mishandling of classified documents? Well, you never know. They dealt a lot with Ukraine, and there was a lot of bribery schemes, alleged bribery schemes with Ukraine. So, you never know. The scope of the inquiry includes whether President Biden has abused his office of public trust to enrich himself or his family, including in connection with his family's business dealings with foreign parties, Republicans wrote in the suit. Yeah, that is a very big interest because we know you don't get the $1 billion if the prosecutor doesn't get fired. What vice president of any country will withhold funding a loan guarantee if they don't fire their attorney general? That's what happened. Yeah, that's quid pro Joe, by the way. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna is leading the push to use inherent contempt, which has not been used in nearly 100 years. But while she has promised to force a vote on her resolution to hold Garland in inherent contempt, she declined to do so last week, citing GOP attendance issues and telling The Hill that she would introduce a new inherent contempt resolution that has the support of the Speaker. Luna on Friday introduced a new inherent contempt resolution that, rather than directing the Sergeant-at-Arms to take Garland into custody, would fine Garland $10,000 per day until he complies with the House GOP subpoena. Johnson has yet asserted his support for any inherent contempt resolution. Holy crap. They really want that audio tape. And Anna Paulina Luna is doing the business, man. Getting it done. You know, it might be just a political ploy, right? But at least it looks like they're doing something. At least it looks like they're trying to hold these people to account, right? Suing Garland for this, right? This is a good move. This is a very good move. They want that audio tape and they mean business. You don't get to deny oversight to congressional overseers. I'm sorry. That's just not how checks and balances work, right? If you have a check that's out of balance, you don't have either. And that's just how the game goes. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do about that. I don't make up the rules, folks. But I mean, that's what the intention that the founders wanted, right? Was co-equal branches of government. You can't have one branch of government just outright saying, no, we're not going to turn over this information, when they've already somewhat turned over the information. You know what I mean? They've already given a transcript. Why not give the actual audio, the unredacted audio, an unredacted transcript, right? Like they said that the redactions were just repeat words. Like, you know how Joe Biden stutters now, right? That hasn't been a lifelong stutter, by the way. That's just a recent thing. And they say it's a lifelong stutter. That was to hide the fact that Joe Biden has dementia and he is going downhill very quickly. Right? We've all had grandpas or grandmas that we've seen that go from, 1 year they're just fine, sure they're a little bit old, and then they just rapidly decline before they die. That's how it happens. You rapidly just fall off the cliff, it seems like. Within a year, you go from perfectly healthy, kind of old, to can barely move. That's what we're seeing with Joe Biden. And they're still trying to prop this guy up, the corporate press. My last video was talking about this. These people should be put in jail for this, right? Like, not really, but you know what I mean. Jill Biden forcing Joe Biden to go through with this, when a lot of times he's standing up there, he looks like he's lost. He looks like he doesn't know where he's at, doesn't know what's going on. Why are these people cheering for me, right? That's how he looked when he was in Normandy, for God's sakes, just standing there, and then he wanders off, right? Like, and then they call that a cheap fake, right? The unedited video was a cheap fake. I'm sorry, these people are nuts. But I think I'm gonna leave it right there. Trying to make my videos a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise, to the point. You know what I mean? So, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.